Hi, I'm Ashley Gulick, and today we're going to learn about all the hunting and recreational opportunities in the Paulding Forest and Sheffield Wildlife Management areas. We just call it the WMA. Our WMA is one of many ingrained in tradition. It all started in 1942 during a conversation around a mountain campfire, which sowed the first seeds for what would eventually develop into one of the state's most important public hunting and outdoor recreation areas. The tracts are almost 50 square miles combined. Hunting and abundant wildlife are just two of the many jewels in the crown of our WMA. Its proximity to Metro Atlanta makes it not only a convenient place to hunt for millions of Georgians, but its scenic beauty attracts thousands annually to hike, bike, camp, fish, and numerous other outdoor recreation activities. Untold thousands of bikers ride through Paulding Forest annually on the Silver Comet Trail. These forests contribute to the high-quality water found at Raccoon Creek located on the property. The creek is filled with at-risk threatened and endangered fish and mussels. Clean water not only helps them survive, but also lures anglers, hikers, and birders to come see for themselves.
There's Paulding Forest Wildlife Management Area as well as Sheffield Wildlife Management Area. Sheffield was actually the first property that the state owned or purchased in Paulding County. Was the result of funding that was provided by Governor Zell Miller as part of his Preservation 2000 project back in the late 80s. So we purchased 3,200 acres, was the initial purchase at Sheffield in 1989.
The Sheffield WMA is approximately 9 square miles and has a natural stand of rare montane longleaf pines. It supports healthy game populations and is a popular WMA for small game, turkey, and archery deer hunting. Road access is somewhat limited except during certain hunting seasons. A single campground is located at the southern end of the Wildlife Management Area just off of Lee Road. To get here from Dallas, you take Highway 61 north, 6.2 miles to Braswell Mountain Road, turn left, go 2.4 miles to Lee Road, turn right, and proceed 1.2 miles to the entrance.
We manage Sheffield as an archery-only area for deer hunting to try to provide just a little bit of different opportunity. Paulding Forest, we allow archery hunting, but we also do a couple of distinct time period gun hunts for deer. But the hunting, I'd say, is equally good on both.
The Paulding Forest WMA is an approximately 40 square mile property which offers hunting opportunities for deer, turkey, and small game, camping, pre-season scouting, hiking, picnicking, and other recreational uses are allowed year-round unless otherwise posted at the WMA check station or at a specific recreation site. To get here from Dallas, you take Highway 61 north, 6.2 miles to Braswell Mountain Road, turn left, go 6.7 miles, and the entrance will be on your right.
We have started up a very active burn program, and we have done a lot of thinning of timber for wildlife in the last 10 years, and so we have improved the habitat conditions across thousands of acres of Paulding Forest over the last decade plus, and so it's one of the better areas in the state for deer and turkey. At Paulding Forest, we have an area that we've designated as a dog training area, particularly for bird dogs or rabbit dogs. And what that allows for is a period of time starting in mid-August and running all the way through late March of the following year. People can take their dogs out to that specific area, and if they're training a dog to try to make it good to hunt quail or other birds or rabbits, they can go out there and do that.
This beautiful WMA contains one of the southernmost trout fishing opportunities, Raccoon Creek.
Fishing, you have Raccoon Creek, which you can catch red-eye bass or brim sunfish species. that are native to that creek. We do stock trout seasonally in Raccoon Creek in the late spring and early summer, which is another great opportunity for people. In addition to Raccoon Creek, you also have tributaries on the south end of Paulding Forest that feed into the pumpkin vine drainage, and so there's Bluffy Creek, there's Whitehead Creek, and they're going to have your native fish species like red-eye bass or sunfish that you could catch in those. And they kind of, with a little ultralight rod, it can be kind of fun to go hike in and do a little fishing and catch and release activity. If you're interested in that sort of fishing, you might want to look into the Georgia Bass Slam, which is a neat thing. We have 7 different native species of bass in the state of Georgia, and our fisheries section a couple years ago created this kind of a challenge for anglers that if they want to, they can try to catch all 7 species across the state, and they can get a little certificate, if they provide documentation, and that's cool. And then in addition to that, we have Goldmine Lake, and there's 2 smaller lakes that we call the Upper Goldmine Lakes that are located up towards Goldmine Road and up that way. They are accessed by foot. You can't drive to them, but people are allowed to fish them, and they are popular for anglers to try that. Camping is allowed on both of the WMAs. Anybody that goes out there to be able to do that needs to have either a hunting license, fishing license, or a lands pass. And we do have people take advantage of that, and it's a good opportunity for the citizens in the county. There's not any amenities. All of our camping on the WMA is strictly primitive. You just provide a spot for hunters to go camp or anyone else that wants to go out and camp. On Paulding Forest, we don't have designated camping areas. We allow camping across the entire property. Sheffield in particular, it's kind of interesting. We did some bird surveys before we did any of our restoration work in our longleaf area up there to document what species of birds we're using the area and how many we were coming across. And we expected and were wanting to see a shift in the types of birds that were using that area after we restored it to the more open condition, because there's a lot of species of songbirds that they need that type of habitat and they're not found outside of those habitats. And a paper, one of our wildlife conservation section biologists had done some more surveys about 5 years ago after we had completed a lot of that work in burning and timber harvest, and found that we had gotten tremendous results with the numbers of species of birds encountered in that area being a lot higher than prior to our efforts, and of species that we were wanting to see, like some of the red-headed woodpeckers and different warblers and sparrows. They were responding in there. So if anyone is interested in bird watching, both WMAs provide great opportunities, but I'd say particularly you may want to check out the longleaf restoration area in Sheffield.
As Atlanta sprawls ever closer, Paulding County, the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, and the Georgia Department of Natural Resources, which manages the almost 50 square mile tract, are considering the WMAs a new breed of outdoor amenity. The community banded together decades ago and still do today to secure our Paulding Forest and Sheffield WMAs so that hunting, outdoor recreation, and diverse abundant wildlife populations will continue to be enjoyed here for generations. Come see for yourself. Welcome to Mount Tabor Park, located in Paulding County, Georgia. This park offers a variety of recreational facilities and plenty of outdoor activities for everyone to enjoy.
From our serene half-acre lake to the abundance of recreational facilities, Mount Tabor Park offers an array of opportunities for outdoor fun and relaxation. Get your heart pumping in our aerobics room, gym, or on our exhilarating mountain bike trail. There's something for everyone to enjoy. Take a leisurely stroll along our scenic walking trail, or let the little ones burn off some energy at our playground. For more information and to discover our upcoming programs and classes, please call Mount Tabor Park at 770-505-3885 or visit our website to register online. Mount Tabor Park, where nature meets recreation and memories are made.
Welcome to Larry C. Ragsdale White Oak Park, located in Paulding County, Georgia. This park features several tranquil lakes, vibrant playgrounds, and plenty of recreational activities, including a walking trail for everyone to enjoy.
From tranquil lakes to vibrant playgrounds, our park offers a plethora of amenities for you and your family to enjoy. Whether you're seeking adventure on our disc golf course, basking in the sun at our sand volleyball court, or simply taking a leisurely stroll along our walking trails, there's something here for everyone. For more information or to plan your visit, please call the Parks Administration Office at 770-445-8065. Larry C. Ragsdale White Oak Park, where memories are made and nature thrives.
So we contracted with Motorola to build out a P25 public safety grade radio system, and basically what it's going to do for the county is increase our coverage throughout the county, increase our coverage within buildings, and give us the opportunity to talk to our neighbors because they already have these systems in place. Actually, Motorola picked the site when they were doing their design of the system, and we already knew that we wanted a site in this area. The biggest reason for placing it here is coverage in the northwest part of the county and to provide specific coverage for the reservoir, and hopefully we can get some cell carriers on the tower to provide some cell phone coverage in this area, which doesn't exist. The citizens in this area can expect cell phone coverage once we get carriers up that they've never had before, but countywide they could expect better communications amongst our public safety partners. Also within the surrounding counties, if Cobb or another county needs to come over for mutual aid, we'll be able to talk directly to them instead of having to go through our respective dispatch. And then specifically on the reservoir, if someone is out on the reservoir and they're hiking or they're camping or they're fishing and they have a problem, they'll be able to actually use their cell phone to call 911, and the responders coming into the area will be able to coordinate any type of emergency response. So, I mean, it's a huge deal for the county.
Welcome to Mulberry Rock Park, located on the south side of Paulding County, Georgia. This park offers scenic walking trails, a great playground for children to enjoy, multi-purpose fields, and plenty of outdoor recreational activities.
With amenities like our enclosed pavilion, multi-purpose fields, and 3 miles of scenic pedestrian trails, Mulberry Rock Park provides the perfect backdrop for your outdoor adventures. Explore our community garden, let the kids unleash their imagination at the playground, or gather with friends and family at one of our 5 group pavilions for a memorable day in nature. Embrace the tranquility of Mulberry Rock Park as you stroll along the pedestrian trails or enjoy a picnic at one of our single-table shelters. For more information or to plan your visit, please call the Parks Administration Office at 770-445-8065. Mulberry Rock Park, where every moment is an opportunity to connect with nature and create cherished memories.
Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome. So glad to have you here to participate in county government. At this time, I'll call the Paulding County Board of Commissioners work session for October the 8th, 2024 to order. And glad to recognize Robert Lane, our district attorney. Robert Lane, our district attorney. Well, welcome. I always like to get eye contact there, make sure. I'd like to ask Tommy to bring the list forward. And if you got a cell phone on, good time to silence that. Thanks, sir. Such a privilege to have Tommy Leonard with us this morning, the director of the recycling out at the landfill. He and his team do a great job, and he also always brings us a good word. Tommy, thank you for being here.
Thank you, sir. Good morning, and I'd like to thank you all because it is an honor and a privilege anytime you allow me to come before you and pray. In Luke chapter 3, verse 11, it says this: "Whoever has 2 tunics is to share with him who has none, and whoever has food is to do likewise." And at this time, that's exactly what we do as Americans. We have witnessed the outpouring of generosity and love from our citizens during these storms. We may not all be in the same boat, but we are all in the same storm. And let us pray. Father, it is with humble hearts that we approach your throne of grace. We want to praise you for all the blessings you have bestowed upon us. You are a loving and merciful God. You are the designer of all things ever made and to be made. And may all that we do glorify and magnify your holy name. And Father, I lift up to you this morning the leaders of our nation, state, and county, praying that our leaders would seek your wise counsel as they lead us. I pray, as the upcoming elections approach, that you will install godly servants to these positions of major importance. Help us to always remember that leadership is a privilege, and when we are in a leadership role, our influence may affect the trajectories of people's careers and often their lives. And God, we lift up to you our military, first responders, and employees of Paulding County government, asking you to protect them each and every day with your mighty power. And we pray for those who have been severely impacted by the recent storms and the storms yet to come. And Father, we pray for the thousands of volunteers that are on the ground helping our fellow Americans in their time of urgent need. And Father, I pray you will continue to find favor in Paulding County, Georgia. Your word in Jeremiah 29 says, "For I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you, not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." Thank you, Lord, for loving us so much. Please bless this meeting this morning. And as we ask, Lord, we ask for forgiveness of our sins in the name of our Lord and Savior, the spotless Lamb, Jesus Christ.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thanks again, Tommy, for starting our meeting off the way we should start it. Under minutes, the September 10th, 2024 work session minutes and the September 10th, 2024 board meeting minutes are available for review. They're always on that back table. Announcements, exciting to have another employee of the month. One of my most fun things. This is Angela Chandler from the juvenile court system.
I have an employee who is well deserving of employee a month. Her name is Angela Chandler. She has been in juvenile court for almost 8 years. She's my early bird, especially whenever we have court. Our court starts at 8:30, and at 8:30 on the dot, our judges are ready to go in and sit on the bench. So she comes in early, makes sure everything's prepped and ready to go for our judges. That includes making sure all the files, everything's in the files, our calendars, We do majority of our hearings by Zoom, so she makes sure everything is good to go on Zoom. So all the judge has to do is come in and sit on the bench. And then when she's not in court, which is very rare right now, you'll see her processing, answering phones and questions, assisting the attorneys when they need help with anything. She's pretty amazing. We've had people come in upset for various reasons, and she is very sensitive to them and kind of trying to explain the things that, you know, it's going to be okay, and this is, you know, how we can help you. You are a true blessing to our office, but not only as to our office, you're a true blessing to me. She knows we have shed tears, and it's been happy tears and sad tears, but I love her, and I'm just blessed to have someone like that in my life.
Congratulations, Angela. We have no invited guests this morning. Bid awards, item 2 on the agenda is to approve the 3-year Microsoft 365 software purchase in the amount of $899,795.13 to the lowest responsive bidder, SHI. The funding will be allocated from general funds. Ms. Pollard.
Good morning. I missed the days where we could buy technology, and then when we wanted to change it, we had to buy technology again, but now we don't get the opportunity to do that. So they changed technology so much that we have to buy it and then keep buying and keep buying in order to keep up. So what this is a Microsoft 365 software purchase. We buy them in 3-year subscriptions. So we recently went out, the last time we've made this purchase was in 2021. It was for 3 years. We'll pay this amount over the next 3 years. It allows us the ability to change those licenses. So if they have an upgrade, or maybe some of the other software that we use needs to run on a different version, then it gives us access to those different versions. So it gives us a little variable of what we need so that we can operate each one of our offices maybe a little bit differently depending on the software that's available throughout the government. So unless you have any questions.
I just have a quick question.
Okay.
Does this cover like the sheriff's office also, or is it just our county admin offices, or is it the whole county?
It's all of the computers throughout the county.
Fantastic. Great. Thank you.
Thank you, Tabitha. Reports from committees and departments. We have none. Public participation on agenda items. No one has signed up. And consent agenda. I need to read it this morning. Consideration of the following items. Item 3 is to adopt the Department of Information Technology job description for audiovisual support specialist. Number 4 is to adopt Department of Transportation job classification for the capital projects manager. Number 5 is items listed as surplus and approved for disposal through auction, trade, or donation. And I'm not going to read these 6 items, but you can read them yourself on the sheet. Item 6 is authorize the chairman to sign Resolution 2024-26 adopting Title VI Plan Update for 2024 in relation to federal transportation findings. Item 7 is to authorize the chairman to sign the documents accepting the JAG grant in the amount of $39,699. Item 8 is to approve the amendments for the Board of Commissioners August 13th, 2024 board meeting minutes to change resolution number 2024-23 to resolution 2024-3A. This is due to a clerical error. Item 9 is to adopt the resolution 2024-27 appointing Gary Spinks to the Board of Assessors with a term of January the 1st, 2025 to December 31st, 2027. Similarly, item 10 is to adopt resolution 2024-28 appointing Gary Griswold to the Board of Assessors with a term of January 2025 to December 31st, 2027. Item 11 is action to enter into a 2-year agreement with Flock Safety for security cameras in the amount of $83,200. Funding will be allocated through special purpose local option sales tax BOC funds. Item 12 is to authorize the chairman to enter into a development agreement with First Center Incorporated in reference to zoning condition Z-17-98, condition number 17I, which is a left-hand turn lane from East Paulding Drive to the subject property, and this project is located in Post 4. Would any of the commissioners like to move any of these items to our regular business items?
I would like to, Mr. Chairman, I would like to move number 11 to regular business.
Okay, we'll move number 11 to our regular business this morning. Thank you, Virginia. On old business, none. Entering new business here is item 13, which is discuss action to approve and accept the dedication of a sewer line easement at 3184 Bill Caruth Parkway from GCP 3 SK Silver Comet B1 LLC. Mr. Ray Wooten to report. Thank you, Ray.
Good morning, everybody.
Morning.
This Silver Comet easement dedication, Automan is being built on Bill Caruth Parkway. As part of their requirement, they were to extend the sewer from the outfall, which was part of the East Hiram outfall, from Laird Road all the way across their property to the very far west part of their property. And so as part of the construction of that easement, we have to accept it before they can get their CO. So we are proposing to accept their easement for perpetual maintenance at this point in time.
You want to have any questions for Mr. Wooten? The backup material was great. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
New business item 14, discuss action to authorize the chairman to execute a contract for the sale of realty for parcel 1 of the Dabbs Bridge Road at Harmony Grove Church Road intersection. That's an improvement project that we have. Agreement to purchase the tract is 1.092 acres in the amount of $92,820. SPOS fund will be used for the purchase of this tract of property. It's located in Post 4. George Jones, thank you.
Morning. As you said, Chairman, the county has a programmed roadway intersection improvement project located at Dabbs Bridge Road and Harmony Grove Church Road in Post 4. The project will include a improved intersection of Harmony Dabbs, improving the sight lines, moving it slightly to the north, along with constructing a 3-lane section on Harmony Grove Church Road from Dabbs Bridge Road to Bob Grogan Drive. The project's in the preliminary engineering phase, and preliminary right-of-way plans have been developed at this time. Concurrently, the water system is constructing the northeast loop water transmission main that goes along a portion of this project. The county DOT and the county water system are working together to try to reduce conflicts between the roadway project and the water main project. The DOT and the water system have agreed to advance purchase right-of-way for the project, for their project, for the water main project, and for our roadway project, which will allow the water main placement to be outside of the future projects of the roadway project limit and in the back 5 feet of the right-of-way. Like I said, to construct the roadway project, additional right-of-way and easements will be required. A total of 11 parcels are impacted as part of our roadway project. DOT had a property appraisal commission for parcel 1 to estimate the fair market value of the property and the area required by the county for the project. The DOT and the water system presented the appraisal for parcel 1 to the Board of Commissioners during the September 10th, 2024 closed session. Per our appraisal that was commissioned by the DOT, the fair market value of the property is at $85,000 per acre. The entire tract will be required for this purchase. The entire tract size is 1.092 acres, and so the purchase price of $92,820 has been reached, which is the $85,000 per acre number. And we recommend the board Authorize the chairman to execute the contract for the sale of realty for parcel 1 for the Harmony Grove Church Road at Dabbs Bridge Road project. If approved, SPOS funding will be used for this purchase.
Any questions for Mr. Jones? Okay, also good backup material for the board. We appreciate that. Item 16 is also, I skipped 15, which is also Mr. George Jones, which is discuss action to approve a project funding allotment increase in the amount of $110,000 for the completion of the intersection improvement project on Dallas Ackworth Highway, Fry Road, Mount Tabor Church Road. This allotment request will be allocated from SPOS funds, and it's located in Post 1 and also across the street in Post 4.
Yes, sir. As you said, the intersection improvement project on Dallas Ackworth Highway, Fry Road, Mount Tabor Church Road was awarded by the BOC in October of 2020 to Bartow Paving in the amount of $2,951,575.76. The funding at the time was allocated from the SPOS program and is located in Post 1 and Post 4. In November of 2023, an allotment increase of $600,000 was granted by the BOC for an updated cost estimate due to project geometric redesigns and relocation of the sewer force main that went along the project. In order to complete the construction, the sewer relocation items came in about $55,000 higher than originally estimated, and the scope of the sewer main work increased and expanded further down Fry Road. In addition, due to the length of the project, simply the additional costs have increased. The substantial completion of the project was in August of 2024. Obviously, it's opened up. Punch list items continue, but there'll be no additional cost to the county at this point in time. Those costs, everything has been paid out. At this point in time, we're requesting an allotment increase in the amount of $110,000, which is 3.1% of the current total contract amount to complete this project. If approved, funding will be allocated from SPOS.
Questions? Thank you, George.
Thank you.
Item 16 is discuss action to authorize the Paulding County Airport Authority to increase the C.W. Matthews contract for Airport Parkway Extension, the base bid, by $158,090.45 to a final price not to exceed $4,719,000. Not sure. Let me reference another page here. Item 16 is discuss action to authorize the Paulding County Airport Authority to increase the C.W. Matthews contract for Airport Parkway Extension. The base bid is by $158,090.45 to a final price not to exceed $4,719,000. The number is a misprint there, so maybe we can ask Terry to clarify exactly what that cost is. It's to be funded by residential funds available on the fiscal year 23 FAA/GDOT airport grant. Mr. Baker to open up anyway. Frank, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Terry submitted something to me, I guess, a couple of weeks ago and found some additional money which would allow us to do some additional work out there. Right. And so we talked about putting it on the agenda because there's an existing approved item, but we wanted to be completely transparent with this, and that's why it's not on consent. It's on new business. So if you could take it away and let us know exactly what's going on with it.
All right. Very short. It's residual funds, not residential funds. And the amount that we're increasing the contract is $719,545. And what this is the FY23 grant that we received from the FAA and GDOT funded construction administration, engineering services, and inspection on the approximately half-mile extension to Airport Parkway, We've had some cost savings on the engineering and construction administration pieces of the program, resulting in a cost savings of about $158,000. So these are residual grant funds that we would like to shift from engineering over to construction so that we can move an additional 14,000 cubic yards. And this is all excavation that will eventually have to be done at some point in the future anyway. So it's very efficient to use the money that's already been authorized, approved, and accepted, rather than returning this money and then have to refight for the money at some point in the future. So we're not asking for any additional money beyond what was already approved in Resolution 2311. So it's just a reallocation to allow us to finish out the grant and close this grant out. Any questions?
Terry, just to clarify, that final not to exceed price, $4,719,005.45.
Well, that is correct.
Thank you.
Yes, that's the number I have.
Thank you, Jason.
I just want to say I love cost savings
So
and being able to use them for something else. And I think that's pretty fabulous.
Thank you. Okay.
All right, number 17 is discuss action to authorize the purchase of approximately 1,062 stream bank credits for an estimated price of $212,400 even for PR-CR 466, the intersection improvement of Due West Road at State Route 92. The funding will be allocated from SPLOST funds, and the project's located in Post 1. We get Mr. Jones again.
Yes, sir. Like I said, the county has an intersection project currently in the preliminary engineering phase and right-of-way in Post 1 at the intersection of State Route 92 and Due West Road, the unsignalized intersection, which is about 600 feet away from the currently north signalized intersection of Due West and 92, which are essentially dog-legged intersections. The intersection is being redesigned to improve safety and operations. The current intersection will be realigned 680 feet south and approximately 2,000 feet of linear new alignment road will be constructed on Due West Road, meet a speed design of 35 miles an hour. That separation between the signalized intersection, this new relocated intersection, will allow for the installation of a traffic signal until GDOT gets done their widening project. It'll improve safety and operations for folks trying to utilize that intersection. It's a very busy location. As design plans have been developed for this project, a stream has been identified which will be impacted by the construction of this project. The impact will require the county to purchase stream mitigation credits. The project impacts 118 linear feet of stream for the culvert and riprap. The total impact on the stream is estimated to require 1,062 legacy stream credits. There are stream credits available from the Good Neighbor Mitigation Bank, which is in the primary service area for this project. The credits are priced at at $200 per credit, not 80, and the overall cost for the 1,062 credits is estimated at $212,400. So essentially, this is Army Corps of Engineer type stuff. If we're impacting streams, we have to mitigate it somehow. So when you come to these type of projects which do impact a stream, it's part of doing business. So we're going to impact this stream, however, we will preserve a stream in another area.
Any questions for George? Have maybe it was in the backup and I've forgotten it, the start date?
The start date for the project, it's dependent on, acquiring right-of-way for the project. We're hopeful to get, with the stream bank credits, the right-of-way to get done, start this project construction, let award sometime in early 25. That's my hope. I know it's an important project to y'all, particularly to the Post 1 Commissioner. We agree it's very well needed. The county has taken on the responsibility of constructing and funding this project because it is such a priority, even though that is a state highway. So I think the board, obviously the DOT, we realize the significance of this project, and we've talked to most of y'all, county manager also, and we're going to pursue this project as diligently as we can.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Okay, we want to back up to item new business number 11, which Commissioner Galloway mentioned, and by putting it in new business, we're able to talk about it, so it's a good thing. Item 11 is action to enter into a 2-year agreement with Flock Safety for security cameras in the amount of $83,200, and it'll be SPLOST funds.
Good morning.
Good morning.
We currently have some cameras existing on the trail now. And as a point of reference, the Silver Comet Trail is 18 miles long. There are some huge gaps, in coverage out there. This is a different alternative than what we used the first time. We had some existing power and fiber. We had to add some. This is solar-powered technology, which allows us to avoid some of the costs that we incurred the first time. We've worked along with the representatives from the Sheriff's Department and the division that patrol the trail. We don't like it. We have had issues of vandalism on the trail. It's not just to cover that, though. It's a safety component. I guess the simplest example that I could give you would be, and let's hope this never happens, if you get to point A on the trail and you don't make it to point B, if we can find you at point A and we know you didn't make it to point B, then we know where to direct the resources to hopefully recover and find and help whoever it may be. It's an added level of security, not so much surveillance, but security. The technical aspect, Mr. Lyons is here. He could answer any of those questions that you might have, but I hope I've answered your questions.
I have some questions.
Sure.
So this surveillance, I call it surveillance because it's on 24/7 with people who have no criminal record,
right,
for the most part, that are on that trail. Is this going to be like the entire trail now will be covered with cameras?
No, we still have areas that won't be covered.
Okay.
We're trying to get it in the most heavily populated. That seems to be where our instances occur, and towards the county lines. There's still going to be a gap in there. The plan when we started it several years ago was to get it covered in its entirety. This is just the second phase of that.
Wow. So is I know we have safety considerations. I don't go on the trail by myself, for instance, but I wouldn't, even if a camera was there, because, I don't want to be a YouTube video one day.
Sure.
So, not for that, for sure. But anyway, I just wondered if there was any consideration given to, like, people's freedom to not be constantly surveilled. I'm just concerned, I've read about China and I've been to Scotland where there's constant surveillance of every move you make. And I'm not sure that's really the vibe we're after in Paulding County. I certainly appreciate safety, but there's maybe other ways to do that.
I understand. I can tell you from my viewpoint, I look at it when there's an issue. The flock cameras are a little bit different in that you access those when you need to. And I'm not sure they could answer that better than I can. We don't have somebody that sits there and monitors those cameras, 24/7. We look at it when there's an issue. I look at it more from the safety side and from being able to help than the surveillance side, to be honest. I understand the other side of that as well.
Who could answer questions about who has access to that and how often it's...
Yeah. Mr. Lyons can tell you who all has access to it, and I'm sure that Sheriff-elect Henson can address, what they do at the Sheriff's Department as well.
Okay.
Good morning, and I want to touch on the privacy concerns. I understand them. I really do. The videos will only be recorded for 30 days, and as Mr. Justice noted, they will only be accessed by individuals who need access. This is a zero trust environment. Only the people who need access will have access. The videos are only kept for 30 days and then they're deleted permanently. This is not long-term retention. That is not the objective of this project. The objective is the protection of our citizens, providing help when they need it. As you know, this board did approve I think it was $100,000 for flock cameras for the sheriff's office recently. Europe has had success with cameras being able to respond where law enforcement couldn't. It's a recording of the event and who the victims and the assaultants were. So this is about response. No one's going to be monitoring the cameras full-time. Unfortunately, we don't have that type of personnel. We can't cover that type of expense. But as Michael stated, if somebody is on the trail and they disappear between point A and point B, we want to get to them as soon as possible because every minute matters in that particular instance. They seem to work well for public safety in the sheriff's office. They have worked all over the area for multiple agencies, and they continue to get more popular. So we believe in this technology. We understand the privacy concerns, but we think the safety does outweigh that. And if we're going to do this, if the board approves to do this, this is a lower cost than going in and boring the cables underground and putting the infrastructure in place by going solar. So
Well, I appreciate the cost-saving aspect. I don't know, I'm kind of not real happy with the just constant surveillance aspect of it. Even if it's nobody's looking at it at every minute, I don't know that, when I'd actually questioned the flock cameras even when we approved those, and they said, they'll only be, like around the edges of the county so that, as people come in, we can keep up with that. So, that maybe this is the guy I need to hear from.
Yeah, I think one last statement before I step down. In some instances, you want the cameras to be covert. You don't want people to know they're there. In some situations, you want the cameras to be very visible for a deterrent.
Right.
So with that, it is for safety. I'm going to let the sheriff's office answer.
Yeah. Well, good morning, Commissioners, and I wasn't expecting to speak, but we'll be happy to talk about this. So flock cameras, it's the way we're fighting crime these days. And I'll use a couple of examples. So say, for instance, there's an entering auto in your neighborhood, all right? And all we know is that the homeowner saw maybe a white car, right? All right, so we go and we pull white cars from this time to this time, and we can pinpoint what white cars were in the area. And if a subdivision has a flock camera, we know exactly who that car is. And so we track it back to the owner of the car, and they say, well, maybe it's grandmother. Well, grandmother said little Johnny had the car. Well, then we go find little Johnny, and little Johnny's the one that broke into the car. So that's how we're fighting crime these days. Back several years ago, we had a young lady. We've had two violent incidents on our trail. One ended up in a homicide, and one was a young lady that was nearly beaten to death. And so, as Michael stated a minute ago, that was the first project that had fiber and power, and we got, I think the portion from Tara Drummond to Hiram, I believe is what we got covered. And so what this will do, it'll give us the capability to ensure the safety of your family as well as everyone's family out there. And we don't look at it in the public safety world as being surveilled. We have flock cameras all over this county. And so what they're doing is our deputies are riding around with their patrol cars, and they'll get an alert as soon as a stolen car hits. So if your car gets stolen and it gets entered into the system, and it drives by a flock camera, our deputies' computers are going to go off, and they're going to say, well, there's a white Ford truck, and that's the stolen vehicle, and that's what we're going to go look for. And so that's how we're able to get your vehicle or any of these other citizens' vehicles back that are here out in the county. our trail is, like Michael said, it's 18 miles from east to west, and when you get to the western portion of the trail, it's very remote. And so these are areas where it's vitally important, because if you've got someone going from, like Michael said, from point A to point B and they never reach B, at least we know the area to go search, whether, maybe they got off the trail or maybe an incident occurred, a medical emergency. We've got deputies that do patrol the trail, but 18 miles is a lot to cover. And so we feel like at the Sheriff's Office, this is a vital resource to help us ensure the safety of our trail as well as the county. This is the way that, we are being innovative at the Sheriff's Office in fighting crime, because if you go over to Cobb and look, and Mr. Baker could probably attest to this, they've got a real-time crime center. And the shooting where, I'm trying to remember the incident, but the shooter that happened in downtown Atlanta, they were able to track and locate and arrest that man because they had cameras all over. I'll use an example from yesterday. Captain Barker at the courthouse, he just told me we had an overdose in the courthouse parking lot yesterday. Wow. They were able to look at our camera system, and they were able to see the car that dropped him off and track that person down to find out who they were and what their involvement in that case was. So nobody likes being surveilled, but this is in my opinion, this is a situation where we're ensuring the safety of our citizens, and especially when they're out on that trail in a very vulnerable setting potentially. So, we'd be happy to show you how it works. There is an audit, and we have access to see who is looking at these photos and these videos. The flock cameras, for the most part, what we're using on the streets is a still image. It takes a photograph of your car and the tag number, and it goes into the system. And so we can access, if we know we've got an armed robbery or something like that, and it's a blue Ford truck, we can type in blue Ford truck, and it will tell us every single blue Ford truck that comes in contact with our cameras, as well as cameras surrounding us. So this is not just a Paulding County thing. This is a Georgia thing, and essentially a nationwide thing. This ensures the safety of all of our citizens because we're all tied together in this system. I don't know if there's any other questions I can try to answer, but I hope this, the information I was able to explain to you will kind of rest your fears a little bit. We're not just out sitting in our cars just checking out who's riding up and down the trail. I promise you, we've got bigger fish to fry than watching folks riding up and down the trail. We're not doing that at all.
I know you do, and this is no disrespect to your profession or anything else. I just have concerns. It's my small vein of libertarianism that runs through me. I just don't like surveillance in general of innocent people. And I get that we want to be safe, but then I think at some point it becomes a matter of we have to be safe for ourselves. We have to take people with us. We have to be prepared to defend ourselves and that kind of thing. So anyway, but thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Anytime you guys want to come, and for all of the board, if you ever want to come and see how the system works or ride one of our deputies, hop in the car and they'll show you how it works, and you might even get a stolen car. Because we get a lot of folks with stolen cars from outside the county that come here.
Right.
And I can assure you, if your car gets stolen, you're probably going to want it back. And this is the way that we're getting them back. So.
Well, if you're innocent, you have nothing to worry about anyway, right?
That's right. Don't steal cars. And don't commit crime. You'll be okay.
Well, I have to get a side hustle. This doesn't pay much. I'm kidding.
All right. Well, thank you, Sheriff-elect Henson and Michael and Will.
Thank you for the opportunity, and thank these guys for helping me share that information.
It's also a good example of something that was on consent, and because Commissioner Galloway brought it up, I think we as Board of Commissioners is much better informed, and also the people in the room here. So I'm glad it worked out that way.
We all know now that we're being watched, so you better be good.
Sounds like Santa Claus, right? All right, I would like to make a motion now to add something to the 2 o'clock meeting. I'll make a motion to add the chairman's nomination of John Garrett Brubaker to the position of Paulding County Fire Chief. Is there a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Is there, all we do is vote, and then we'll talk about it this afternoon if we need to. So at this time, I'll take a vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Carries 4-0. At this time, there's no one who signed up for non-agenda items. Would any of the commissioners have something they want to celebrate or announce? Maybe I'll call on our county manager first. It's already been mentioned, Ride for Wishes. I love that event. Usually bring a lot more kids. So you want to talk about it?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. It's actually coming up on Saturday morning. So if anybody still interested in trying to sponsor or to ride, just contact my office, or you can do it online. But we're hoping for a good turnout and a big donation check to Make-A-Wish of Georgia. All the proceeds, 100% of the proceeds goes to Make-A-Wish Georgia, with the proviso that it has to be spent on a child that lives here in Paulding County. So that was the reason we started it 7 years ago, and we're continuing to do it. So I appreciate the opportunity to mention that this morning.
It's been a great thing for Paulding County. So,
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to do an announcement also. I just wanted to say, God bless Paulding County for their response to this hurricane. John Grant, are you still in the room?
Yeah, he's back there.
Yeah, way back at the back. He has organized 3 truckloads, an airplane, a pickup truck with a trailer full of stuff to go other places. And I believe you're still collecting items to go. And I know the ones went to Georgia, and I assume the rest of them will as well to South Georgia, which is going to be in even more need now as people come flooding up from Florida, no pun intended. But with the hurricane coming toward Florida right now, we're still collecting supplies. Can you give us a little information for the public to know? Because people are all over Facebook saying, I've got stuff, where do I bring it? How do I bring it?
I sure can. Thank you, Commissioner Galloway. We were tasked last week with putting together a donation drive for hurricane relief for the victims in South Georgia. We set our goal at 1 truck, and we felt like that we would really be doing something great if we were able to fill one 26-foot U-Haul truck. Well, I'm proud to report to you that we were able to fill 3 26-foot trucks. We filled an airplane with water. We filled 2 pickup trucks with trailers attached that went to Toombs in Ware County last Thursday morning. They headed out at 6:30. They pulled out from here, went down, got back home about midnight that night. And, when I first came to the county, I was told that we had a vision or a mission that we were Team Paulding. And many times we brag about our vision and we talk about great things that we want to do, but a test of if you are successful with your mission, if it exceeds the walls of this admin building or the walls of this complex. And I'm proud to report to you today that Team Paulding goes way beyond what takes place at the commissioner meetings, what takes place on this property. Team Paulding showed up, and we were able to collect and to send all of these goods and these supplies to South Georgia, keeping the help here in Paulding County. But we're not done yet, because starting today at 12 noon, we have another trailer here at 240 Constitution Boulevard, and we will be collecting supplies through 7 p.m. this coming Friday to also go to South Georgia. So, everyone here should be proud. Yesterday, I put out a notice that we wanted volunteers. I created an Excel spreadsheet, and in 2.5 hours, I picked up 20 volunteers, and not a single one of them yet are within these walls. These are community members. That's Team Paulding, folks. So, I'm proud to be from Paulding County. I'm proud of our commissioners. I'm proud of our team, and that's what we are, is a team. We're not a group. We're not an organization. Chairman, we're a team.
And thank you for this opportunity. And I ask for all the volunteers, if you've got 30 minutes, if you've got an hour, or if you've got an entire afternoon, please come and help us to help these folks. We will never know them, we'll never see them, but we also never know who may have helped us that we never know.
That's awesome information. Can you also add what maybe the most needed and maybe the easiest to pick up at
Yes,
Costco?
and I am putting, if you need, I will put it on our Facebook page. Baby wipes, baby food, baby formula, Clorox wipes. You got to remember, some of these folks, they haven't had a shower since Hurricane Helene hit. So crackers, peanut butter goes a long way. It really does. So water, of course, can be used, but these are the critical items. A lot of these folks, they're in survival mode right now. They are just trying to survive. I don't want folks to be offended when they say, are they taking clothes? That may come later, but right now that is not a critical item. So please understand, that doesn't mean that folks are not appreciative, but right now they're just trying to survive. So those items is what is really needed right now. So if you can help, please let us know.
Thank you, John. I think County Manager would like to add something.
I just want everybody to know that I guess it was the Monday after the incident, when the storms came through the previous week. John came in my office real early and he said, "Is there any protocol? Is there anything we can do?" And I said, "We really don't have a set protocol." I said, "Run with it." So he absolutely ran with it. And we talk about Team Paulding, but you got to give him credit. We talk about it all day long, but we got to give John credit. So thank you, John.
Robert was also a great help during these 2 days. I mean, he was there from open to close both days, loading that truck. He went without lunch and dinner. The first day, nobody knew it, but he didn't want to ask for somebody to go get him something. We had a lot of good people working those 2 days, and I'm very proud to have been a part of it.
Yeah. Robert Cabrera, he did. He went on Tuesday, no lunch, no dinner, was from start to finish both days. We did make sure we fed him on Wednesday. And then also, I got to give a shout out to the Museum of Flight and to Christine Lewis. Without her assistance, we would not have gotten the plane. And it just attests to what a great team is when you go from one truck to 3 trucks, an airplane, trailers of water. I wonder sometimes what could Paulding County do. So don't second guess us, because we're not done yet.
John,
That's
can
right.
you also kind of mention the Board of Education, because I know they helped you out.
Board
with
of
this.
Education, they contributed. They were one of the 26-foot trucks. They provided their assistance. They provided not only the truck, they provided pallet jacks and different essentials that we needed to load and unload. They provided their driver, Ricky Robinson. He was the driver for the Paulding County School District, so a shout out to them. Spoke with Superintendent Barnett last Friday, and I was thanking him for their contribution, and he goes, "We could have done more had we known more about it." So I have made sure that I have let the school board know, hey, the ball's still rolling. So I'm expecting, a lot of help from them. We had teachers that was calling us. We had beta club groups that was reaching out. It's amazing, folks, what kind of help showed up from Paulding County. I cannot stress enough. If you don't believe me, talk to my wife. She's told me, she said, "Golly, can we talk about something else other than this?" And it's like, we should be proud of this. So, it's exciting times. It's just sad that we have to do it. But boy, I sure am glad I live in a county where we can step up and we can help folks out.
Was it Kerry Tinmore that flew the plane down there?
I do believe so, yes.
Yeah, I think there was another pilot, too, that helped out.
And Mr. Spencer.
Trey Stetson. Awesome.
And also a shout out to the Marshal's office, helping feed everybody that second day. So, Chief, if you're in the room, thank you.
Well, that's wonderful. So we do have need this morning for executive session for real estate. Second? Oh, Sandy, I'm sorry.
That's it, just leave me out. Paulding County's Department of Transportation, DOT, is conducting two important transportation projects: the Major Corridor Study and the Comprehensive Safety Plan, which will expand upon the county's Comprehensive Transportation Plan to determine locations for corridor improvements and potential new roadway connections, while also identifying safety improvements to enhance driving, riding, walking, and bicycling across the county. They're having a joint public open house, and it's on Tuesday, October 29th from 5 to 7 at the Dallas Civic Center. Now, this is very important. They need your input. They want to know what we need, but unless you show up and have a voice, you don't have a voice. So please show up and help us with this. Thank you.
Thank you, Sandy. Now, we have a need for executive session for real estate and personnel, and I'll entertain a motion if someone would like to make it and name those two items for the
Mr. Chairman,
for the video.
I'd be recommending that you adjourn from executive session. That could be part of the motion.
Yes. So we won't come back into this room to adjourn. We'll adjourn across the hall. Do I hear a motion?
I make a motion that we go to executive session for personnel and real estate, and that we adjourn from that meeting.
Very well. I'll second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Carries 4-0. We stand adjourned.